Hey guys, my name's Albert from BB Ballers, and today I'm going to the Seoul World Cup Stadium to watch South Korea take on China in a World Cup qualifier. Follow me as we head to the stadium and enjoy the game. Let's go. Alright, let's go inside. Come on. Follow me. Yeah, we here, baby. Yeah, baby! Yeah, I know, right? Toby scores 3 for you.
Kang-in assists 3 for his.
I want Kang-in to get 3. Shoot, Kang-in. What the hell? At the stadium, my boy Jay. Lots of people. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. Hey guys, I'm here post-game in the morning. What an experience going back to the Seoul World Cup Stadium. It was my first time going there since pre-2022 World Cup. If you don't live in Korea, I think you don't understand how popular South Korean football has been becoming. In the past, a lot of people would watch the national team games, but I've never seen the national team being this popular to the point where every single game is sold out. And more importantly, we actually have a lot of female fans in the stadium. There were a lot of male fans yesterday, but I could see thousands of women in their 20s and 30s coming out to support this team. Of course, a lot of them support the team because they have a favorite player, maybe Kang-in or Heung-min or Cho Sung that they think is handsome. But I also think a lot of the women who were showing up yesterday were interested in football in general and not just what the players look like. So it was great to see. In terms of the experience, guys, the Seoul World Cup Stadium is pretty much the IT stadium in South Korea. It's located in the Mapogu area of Seoul, which is on the western part of the city. It's close to the Hongdae nightlife area, so it's quite a good area to watch a game. The stadium is located on subway line 6, and getting there is a bit of a hassle during the games because there are subways you can take. There are the buses as well, but there's a bit of a roadblock before you get to the stadium. So if you ever go to a national team game, I would recommend that you go at least 2-3 hours early, which is what I did. In terms of the game and what I saw, guys, I mean, a 1-0 win over China, okay, it's 3 points. That's great. We're on to the third round of Asian qualifying. That's something that's expected with South Korea at this point. I think at this point, in terms of our development as a football nation, we should expect to make every single World Cup. But not only that, we should expect to make it out of the group stages of every single World Cup. My bar now is to win a knockout stage game. especially at 2026. And unfortunately, what I saw yesterday on the field against China was that, we know who Son Heung-min is, we know who Kang-in is, but the supporting cast just doesn't seem good enough. Guys like Hwang-in, Lee Jae-sung, they're good players, okay? I'm not going to disrespect them and say they're trash, but I don't think they're good enough, or they're not good enough anymore. And there should be a time 2 years before the 2026 World Cup for us to experiment a bit more, call up some younger guys in the K-League or smaller European leagues, and see whether or not they can be contributors. Because I really think that if we're still relying on the same core that we did in 2022 into 2026, it's going to lead to some disastrous consequences. Namely, guys like I said, Hwang Hee-chan, Lee Jae-sung, Hwang-in. I'm not saying to drop them from the national team setup entirely, but I'm saying it might be time to look at alternative options in terms of the positions that they're playing. Because right now, guys, I only see 3 nailed-on starters. I said this in the Twitter Spaces after the game. That's Son Heung-min, Lee Kang-in, and Kim Min-jae. The rest, the goalie, the other center back, the fullbacks, and especially the striker, should all be open for competition at this point. If we want to develop as a football nation, we should not accept scores like a 1-0 win at home against China. Despite the fact that the Chinese park the bus, guys, the best teams in the world find ways to unlock buses and pour it on. And I think the pace of play wasn't quick enough, especially with guys like Hwang Hee-bum at the top of the box. He's a very good passer. He's very intelligent. He just doesn't have the ability to do all that within a faster period of time, which is what separates the very good players from the very elite ones. So maybe I'm asking a little too much of him, but I think that there are some disappointing performances that I saw yesterday that should lead to the new manager of South Korea, whoever that might be, to call up some new, younger, fresher faces. Because this is such an important World Cup that we cannot mess up, guys. 2026 is when we're going to have a whole new generation of Korean fans that are going to be made. You cannot bomb a World Cup, especially in today's day and age with social media. So I think it's going to be very important, like I said, for a new manager to get new faces into this national team setup. Now, going back to the stadium experience, guys, if you're ever in South Korea and you want to go to a national team game, you're going to unfortunately need to have a Korean phone number and also a Korean credit card. The process of getting tickets is through the Play KFA website. That's the official ticketing site of the KFA. Unfortunately, when the tickets open for sale, which usually happens a week or two before the actual game, computer hackers and bots immediately buy up all the tickets, and it's damn near impossible to get a good seat. Unfortunately, what I have to recommend is you buying the tickets off the secondhand market. There are a few Korean sites that do offer these tickets on sale for the national team games. In the past, you would expect to pay maybe 2 times the original sticker amount. Nowadays, you're going to pay 3 to maybe even 4 times that. And it's just the way it is because since post-2022 World Cup, we've had an enormous amount of interest in the national team, and that's just the price we have to pay. This is something that the KFA has to fix, in my opinion, letting actual football fans get their hands on the tickets. But it seems like they don't care as long as they're making money, which is why they're letting these scalpers and bots buy all the tickets when they go on sale. If you do have questions about the site that you can use to buy the secondhand tickets, please let me know. Send me a message on Twitter, on Instagram, and I'll try to help you out there. But yeah, the process of getting tickets is also a pain in the ass, like I said, because you pretty much have to be a Korean living here to get those tickets. And in terms of the stadium experience, guys, one thing I will say is I do like most of the Korean fans. I think we're very polite and well-mannered compared to some other national teams, but I think there's something to be said about, sometimes the way South Koreans can act in public, especially on public transportation, that rubs me the wrong way. Same thing happens when you're trying to get on the train. People don't stand in line. They try to cut in front of you, jump in, elbow you out of the way. Those things are definitely going to happen at the Seoul World Cup Stadium, especially for a national team game when there's so many people. So that is one thing to keep in mind, that, in terms of waiting your turn and being polite, I think some Korean fans need to work on that, and I don't care if I get shit for this, but it's just the truth of what I witnessed at the stadium. Now, when it comes to the away fans and the Chinese fans, to be honest, they don't really have a good reputation in Asia or in the world in general. I remember when South Korea last played China in China last year, many of the Chinese fans harassed and physically threatened the Korean fans who were at the stadium. Thankfully, I didn't see any of that here in Seoul, but I think there's a good reason for that. There's one thing I wanted to add that I forgot to in the original recording. During the game, the Chinese fans were actually talking shit to Son Heung-min. I'm not sure what they said exactly, but they were really, really harassing him and bothering him to the point where he felt like he had to respond. So the cameras basically captured the moment where Sonny responded to the Chinese fans, and he basically held up his hands and said 3-0. Which is in reference to South Korea beating China 3-0 last year in China. basically telling the Chinese fans to shut up. And he said post-game that he had to do it because he felt like the Chinese fans were disrespecting him and the Korean fans. So again, I don't know what they were saying. I'll try to find out, but turns out the Chinese fans weren't behaving so well. And are we honestly surprised? And that's why honestly me and Jason and the other guys at Fighting Stripes are quite happy when we beat Japan. But man, beating China and shutting their fans up, not a bad way to, spend the week. And in terms of looking ahead to South Korea, what we have to look forward to, I believe our next round of matches will take place after the summer in September. By then, we should have hired a new coach. Now, keep your eyes on our channel for all the latest involving the South Korean men's and women's national team. But most importantly, guys, we got the European Championship starting this weekend and Copa America soon after that. I'll be spending the summer in the States to keep you guys updated on that. So wait for great content for us for those tournaments. All right, thanks, guys, and see you in the next video.